Hello everybody hello. My name is Edwin and today I'm gonna have an interview with 5 persons regarding the topic of practicing different culture perspective to give and express their feelings towards another culture in Malaysia. So can we have a moment of interview regarding the topic of practicing different culture perspective to give and express your feelings towards another culture in Malaysia?
Yes, of course.
Okay, firstly, can you introduce yourself about your culture?
I'm Alistair Chan. I'm not Andrew, and I'm 21 years old, and I'm Miss Blood, which is Chinese Miss Iban.
Okay.
Then my ethnic is Fuchao.
Fuchao?
Yeah.
Okay, what is interesting about your culture?
Actually, I interested in Chinese culture and the Iban culture, which is the Chinese culture. They have regarding the food, which is like they Chinese got gong bia, and then like which and also the pork leg rice.
Okay.
And for the Iban culture, they got the bangso, which is they mix all the meats, chicken, fish, and even the rice into the bamboo stick and then steam.
Oh.
Something like that.
Okay. Which other culture you find interesting?
I think is Malay culture.
Why?
Because Malay culture, actually I like Malay culture, especially the foods. Like they got Malay curry,
Okay.
and then quite interesting.
Okay. What are the difference between your culture and the culture you find interesting, and how do you practice and learn to like respect the culture since there's a difference between your culture and the culture that you find interesting?
The difference is like Chinese and Iban, right? The culture they can eat they can have a non-halal food, but then Malay culture they can only have the halal foods. So it's hard to compare, which like for the Iban, the Gawai, right? Gawai festival, the Iban, they always giving the duap, like which has the rice wine, to give the visitor before they were coming to their long house. So for the Malay culture, they even cannot like drink the wine, so it's hard to welcome to have this culture with them.
Okay, so it's hard for you like to practice to learn to like get them to be welcoming to your long houses. So okay, that's good for you, and it's very hard for you too. So thanks for the interviewing and wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
My name is Di Ming. I am 21 years old. I am Chinese. My ethnic is Fuchao.
Okay, what is the thing about your culture?
The most interesting about my culture are festivals. There are lots of Chinese festivals that I celebrate. The Chinese New Year, Mid-Autumn Festival, Dragon Boat Festival, Ghost Festival, Qingming Festival, and others. Chinese New Year is the day where I love the most because I can receive a lot of angbao on those days. Besides, there are lots of rules, or in other words, pantang larang on Chinese New Year festival, such as cannot sweat the floor on the Chinese New Year, cannot wear black skirt. Qingming festival is whereby we visit our ancestors' grave, and did those cleaning and burning the paper money. There are also rules of pantang larang whereby we cannot simply sit or play around others people great, and we must respect all the tradition and the pantang larang which is given by the elders.
Okay. Which are the cultures that you find interesting?
Budaya culture, because I love their tradition of their dance, their foods, and their language, the customs.
Okay. What are the differences between your culture and the culture you find interesting, and how do you practice and to learn and respect their cultures?
There are some differences such as cultural beliefs or traditions, whereby the Bidayu of Pau have a unique tradition of hanging the bodies of the dead on trees and leaving them to rot away. The skeletons are left on trees as a reminder of the dead, whereby Chinese will bury the dead bodies in a coffin as they want to protect the dead bodies. Unlike the Bidayu tradition, this Bidayu tradition makes me feel interesting but scary at the same time, which I think this culture is interesting.
Thank you for the interview and wish you a Merry Christmas. Okay, goodbye. That's all. Thank you. Hi, Miss. Can we have a moment of interview regarding the topic of practicing different cultural perspective, give and express your feelings towards another culture in Malaysia?
Okay.
Can you introduce yourself and introduce about your culture?
Okay. First of all, I'm May. I'm 22 years old.
Yeah.
Actually, my race is Malay and Melanau, but I'm more to Melanau. So, what do you want to know about my culture?
Yeah, I want to know about what is the interesting about the Melanau.
Melanau?
Yeah.
Oh, so Melanau. You know, Melanau is usually famous with their food and tradition, such as. Okay. So about the things that food that Melanau has is umai.
Umai.
You know what umai is?
Umai.
Umai is like fish that was raw and
You mean the famous food like in the muka, is it? The
yeah.
umai.
But
But-
usually people eat it very nice. So
Okay.
so there's another one like linut. So if you haven't tried it, you should try it.
What is linut, by the way?
Linut is it's made from lemanta.
Lemanta.
The white things. Then you need to mix it with hot water before it become usually like feel like sticky feelings. But it's quite nice if you mix it with sambal belacan.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it's about tradition,
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure because I'm not fully in those kind of culture, right? So I think I only know about it lah.
Okay. So, which other cultures that you find interesting than your own culture, Melanau culture? Is there any other culture that you find interesting and interesting?
In my own opinion, right?
Yeah. In your
Every culture has their own specialty
Yeah.
and their own benefit in terms of everything. So I don't specifically just state that this one culture is more than the others because every culture has their own benefit, right? So there's no such as thing like
Which culture
that
is the
I
best?
like the most. Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
So,
Because if you try to go in deep with every different kind of culture, usually there has very variance.
a lot of
Okay.
varieties of
Yeah.
cultures lah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, since you know a lot of cultures, so how do you like practice and how do you like learn to accept those different cultures than your own cultures lah, the Melanau?
How do I accept?
Yeah. How do you learn? Do you practice?
You know, since we live in Sarawak, right?
Yeah.
We have been introduced with different kind of culture since our kindergarten.
Yeah.
So since our on the low level of age, and we have been sitting with next to some like Iban, India, Chinese. So usually that is not like a problem to us actually. So when I try to make a friend, and they're like very open-minded, and it just become like a normal thing toward us Sarawakian, I guess. So until like middle school, even now I study in STS, I meet a lot of different culture other than Malay. So I think it's quite comfortable.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you didn't face any large or big problems in facing those different cultures?
To be honest, right?
Yeah.
Not everything doesn't have a problem in terms of differences.
Okay.
Everyone has their own differences. Sometimes we misunderstand, we misinterpret what others say, and some people just being ignorant about others' culture. I think that we need to try to learn more and be accept about differences of other culture, because it's hard to live in here in this earth if you're not going to accept other people that is quite different from you. Yeah.
Is there any similarities in between those cultures? Similarities from your culture, Malana culture, and those others' culture. Is there any similarities?
Saling bantu membantu.
Saling bantu membantu. Okay.
Yeah, because I think that is what unites us, and that is the similarities that we need to keep going on until we old and die.
Okay. Thank you for the interview. Thank you. Hi sir, can we have a moment of interview regarding the topic of the practicing different culture perspective to express your feelings towards another culture in Malaysia?
Yes, of course.
Can you introduce yourself about your culture?
Well, my name is Brandon Gero. I am 21 years old and I am a Bidayu.
Okay, so what is interesting about your culture?
Bidayus are mainly pagans or animist, and they believe in ancestral worship, and they also believe in the ancient spirits of nature. Due to that, they will have big celebration like Gawai on the June 1st, which is a celebration to please the Padi spirit for good harvest. They will also hold small prayers and worship sessions, occasionally to the river and jungle spirits, to cure illness and ward off bad luck. However, at least 50% of the Bidayus community have converted into Christianity since the arrival of missionaries into Sarawak. Being the people of colorful culture, the Bidayu have their own cultural dress code, which in the modern days are only worn during festivities and celebrations. We have our own cultural dance, and they play their own cultural music, which comprises a set of gongs. The Bidayus are generally very soft-spoken people, such as me, while the men are proud and strong, and such as me also. The women are more gentle, less outspoken, and will usually shy away from strangers and outsiders. The Bidayus staple food is rice, but in a lot of places, while sago become our staple food. Sadly, the long houses, the costumes, the languages, the war, the worships, that was all then. As Sarawak grew into city and modernization took over, most Bidayus have moved into the city and with interracial marriages. Most Bidayus are not purely Bidayu anymore. Myself, for instance, with my mom being Chinese and then having lived in the city all my life, I speak more English and Chinese compared to Bidayu, and I have unfortunately only mastered 60% of the language. I do not own a Bidayu costume and do not have to give or sing. So that goes my culture.
Okay. So what are the differences between your culture and the culture you find interesting, and how are you going to practice to learn to respect the culture that you find interesting?
There are some differences in the culture between Chinese and Budaya, which are the languages spoken. In Chinese, even though some of them doesn't know how to speak Chinese dialect, like Fuchao or Hakka, but they still can speak Chinese instead English or Bahasa Melayu. While for Budaya can only speak Budaya where it is hardly be able to understood by other ethnic group, which face some problem in communicating. Thus, they can only use Bahasa Melayu or English to communicate instead of their own ethnic language. Thus, practice to learn other languages are needed, which gives a challenge to me.
Okay. What are the similarities between your culture and the culture you find interesting?
The similarities between Chinese culture and Budaya culture is that both of them have their own specific dance to celebrate festival, like Chinese with Tarian Singa, the lion dance, and the Budaya is Tarian Suku, the festival of Kawai.
Okay. Thank you for the interviewing, and wish you a Merry Christmas since the Christmas is near. Thank you and goodbye.
Hi sir, can we have a moment of interview regarding the topic of practicing different cultural perspective to give and express your feelings towards another culture in Malaysia?
Yes, of course.
Can you introduce yourself and introduce about your culture?
Well, my name is Brahim. I am 21 years old. I am Malaysia Chinese, or pure Chinese. My ID is Fuchao, as my ID is here for my family from generation after generation.
What is interesting about your culture?
The most interesting about my culture is, of course, food and festival. Chinese have variety of food to be selected from. The most well-known Fuchao Chinese food is gong bia, breast pork leg with vinegar, kampoa, and Hong Kong soup, which is an indistinguishable dish in the most Fuchao celebration. For example, birthday and New Year, and most essential post-natal diet. It can be cooked in various ways together with poultry or pork or seafood and meat swap. Besides food, there are a lot of Chinese festivals that I celebrate. The Chinese New Year, Mid-Autumn Festival, Dragon Ball Festival, Ghost Festival, Qingming Festival, and others. Chinese New Year is the days where I love the most because I can receive a lot of angbao of those days. Qingming Festival is whereby we visit our ancestors' graves yet and that did dust clean and burning the paper money.
Okay. Which other culture you find interesting?
Find interesting. But it's about Malay culture because I got a Malay friend which I can easily talk with. Actually, Malay culture are quite unique as they are very unlike to my Chinese culture.
Okay. What are the differences between your culture and the culture you find interesting, and how are you going to practice and learn to respect the culture that you find interesting?
Most is Malay. Islam those they cannot eat non-halal food, like part of alcohol. For example, I invite my Malay friends to visit my house during Chinese New Year. I cannot treat them wine or beer and eat pork jerky, or in other words is logan. This is really troublesome for mine, as those cuisines are really traditional for Chinese, but which is non-halal food. However, I need to practice to accept the Malay culture but not serving non-halal food to my friends while serving halal food to them.
What are the similarities between your culture and the culture you find interesting?
The similarities is the between Chinese culture and Malay culture is that both of them celebrate festival. Malay celebrate Raya, where Chinese celebrate the Chinese New Year. Both of the festival is where I can receive pocket money, whereby in Raya I receive green packet, and in Chinese New Year I can receive the red packet.
This is good for you, and thank you for the interviewing with you, and wish you a Merry Christmas since the Christmas is near.
Okay. Merry Christmas to you. Nice to see you. Bye.
Okay, goodbye.
Once again, hello everybody. Everybody hello, and thank you for 5 different respondents for the feedbacks, which let me know their true feelings, their culture, and the other culture perspectively. In the interview, we got the Malay, Chinese, Iban culture, Bidayo culture, and even mixed blood, which he needs to learn and practice both the culture at the same time. There are lots of interesting things which happen in the culture, the do, the dons, and the most interesting, of course, the foods and the festivals. Beside the interesting things, there are also predicaments, disturbance, or issue when one culture's approach to another different cultures. However, we can still live together with different kind of ethnic, unite together, and that show how unique Malaysia is. That's why we need to learn to accept, respect, to supervise each other, even though we are come from different cultures. This showed how important supervisory skills are in order to solve the cultural issues. That's all for my video. See you next time.